term consecutive numbers refers to numbers that are listed sequentially and are evenly spaced apart. If a problem simply says consecutive numbers, we can assume they are in the simple counting order, such as 1, 2, 3, or something like 15, 16, 17. A problem can also describe a list as consecutive even numbers or consecutive odd numbers, or even consecutive multiples of 5. So a number list like 5, 10, 15 could be considered a list of consecutive numbers. If the problem doesn't specify whether it's a list of consecutive even or odd or different multiples, you can assume consecutive just means each number is in the counting order and one apart. There are two basic concepts you have to know with consecutive numbers. The first is how to describe these numbers algebraically. So if the problem describes a list as a list of consecutive numbers, you could describe the numbers as the first number is x, the next number is x plus 1, and the next number after that is going to be x plus 2. If the problem described consecutive even numbers or consecutive odd numbers, you could describe your list as x, and then x plus 2, and then x plus 4. And if this list was describing a list of consecutive multiples, say a list of consecutive multiples of 3, your list would be x, the next one would be x plus 3, and the next number would be x plus 6. The next concept has to do with consecutive numbers and averages. And the rule is that when numbers are evenly spaced apart, the middle number is also the average. So if I have the list of 1, 2, 3, I could calculate my average as the sum divided by the number of numbers. And that's going to equal my average. Or in this case, 1 plus 2 plus 3, that's 6, divided by 3 numbers, and that's going to be 2. And that's always going to be the case. The middle number in a list where numbers are evenly spaced apart is also going to be the average. That comes in handy when a question asks you to add up a long list of large numbers. So if a problem wanted me to add up 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45, I could do the long arithmetic, or I could simply identify that 35 is my middle number. And then I can use that equation that the sum divided by my number of numbers is equal to my average. Or in this case, the sum that I don't know yet, divided by 5 numbers, that's going to equal 35. So then the sum of my numbers is going to be equal to 5 times 35, or simply 175. So here's a fairly classic consecutive number problem. The problem only mentions consecutive integers, no even or odd or multiples, so we can assume all of the numbers are just one apart and in sequential order. So I could describe my first 5 integers as x and x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, and x plus 4. And the problem says if I add all those numbers up, then that is going to be equal to 560. Or to combine like terms, I could write that 5x plus 10 is equal to 560. Subtract 10 from both sides, and I get 5x is equal to 550, or x is equal to 110. And so the consecutive integers in my list are 110, 111, 112, and so on. But the question is asking for the sum of the last 5 integers. And so my last 5 integers would be 115 through 119. And because these numbers are evenly spaced apart, I know my average is also the middle number, or the sum of my numbers divided by the 5 numbers I have, that's going to equal my average of 117. So my sum is simply equal to 117 times 5, or my sum is equal to 585.